Today on the show, the All-American Rejects are having like a career renaissance. And you're like, wait, the guys that sang Gives You Hell? Yeah, they're like the biggest thing with Gen Z right now. We'll tell you why. Plus, you ever wanted to quit your job and just go into a van and live the van life? What is it that actually makes people do that? We got a great story, a guy sailing with his cat. And you know what? Might make you want to do the same. So listen, before we get started here, I've been told to remind everybody that you got to like and subscribe and follow and do all the things.
Why are you acting like I was told? Like
I was told because I forget to ask.
I know, but it's like a sentence. We are inviting you to tell everyone to like and subscribe because we want to connect
us with your deepest big friend group, with your deepest friends. Is that a thing?
Would love to.
Yeah, like if you're on Spotify, for instance, you can follow a podcast and it populates whenever you've got a thing. So maybe you want to do that. I don't want to listen. I don't want to tell you what to do. But it might be the right thing. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe. Now, listen, I wanted to start the show with a little shout out to Ronnie Radke. Last week, we did a little piece on Ronnie Radke.
A journalistic piece.
I don't know, a segment, I guess.
Yeah.
On Ronnie and Tommy Lee and Brittany Ferlin. And the gist of it is that Brittany was catfished by a fake Ronnie Radke into having an emotional affair. Mm-hmm. She thought it was real. And so she was going through some tough times in her marriage with Tommy. No judgment. You know, whatever. Things happen. But, and fully admitted to it. And then Tommy started messaging Ronnie. He was like, what the hell, dude? Because they would know each other.
Yeah.
And Ronnie's like, I've never heard of this person. I don't know who she is.
So long story short, she wasn't talking to the real Ronnie. And a lot of people aren't sure who. Some people, especially in our comments on TikTok, speculate that it was just Tommy behind the whole thing.
No.
Yeah.
No way.
That's what's happening.
No, but there was other people that were catfished by this.
Yes.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
So Ronnie, first off, he saw our TikTok and then reposted it. So there's like 1 million views on it now.
Ronnie.
Literally like 1 million views this weekend. The other thing is he's called the FBI.
How do you call the FBI?
You could call the FBI. They got a number. And you just, because their job is they're like police, but without just being state specific. They're the national police.
Yeah.
So their job, like in Canada, we have the RCMP. Their job is to go, hey, is this a crime that was committed over states borders or provincial borders or whatever, in this case, states borders, then it's the FBI. And if it's a scam or whatever, then they're I don't know if they're going to like investigate this. I don't know if there's like enough on the line for the FBI to be like, ooh, we busted the Ronnie Radke like impersonator.
Yeah, we need to get an investigation.
Yeah. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting.
Well, you know what, Adam? We're on TikTok chatting about Ronnie. Ronnie's reposting. Here we go.
What do you think Ronnie thought when he watched our TikTok come up? Like, what do you think? Do you think he like sat there and like went through it all?
I think
he
was
thought it was like, you know what? Those details are pretty good. Yeah, I know they did a good job. Or, I figured if we got anything incorrect, he would have messaged us and been like, actually,
I think he would have commented. He wouldn't have messaged us. I think that he thought, when he saw the TikTok, he thought, free press.
Free press.
Free press. Here's two Canadians that kind of look like siblings talking about me, and I'm going to repost because he saw comments. And from what I'm gathering of his social presence, he likes to be out and about.
You ever been reposted by someone famous before?
Missy Elliott. And
Missy Elliott reposted you, or she commented back to you? I know that she
commented back to me once, which changed my life. I asked her what she was up to and she said hits. And, but one time she reposted like danced a joke audition to be a backup dancer for her.
Really?
Yeah, in 2017.
No way.
On Twitter. Yeah.
Oh, that's so
TikTok
cool.
wasn't there. Yeah. So we're together. Missy Elliott and I are dating.
And I know that Lil Jon follows you on Instagram.
He does. I don't know if he still does.
He used to comment on your Instagram all the time.
He used to say, "Girl looks like Justin Bieber," because he used to troll me, and I love. He's so sweet.
Funny. He's funny.
He's really funny. He's really sweet. Our former morning show host at Kiss 92.5, Mocha, knows him. So Mocha used to make fun of me, like in love, for looking like Justin Bieber, and then all of a sudden, Lil Jon hopped on it because they followed each other. And so now Lil Jon just like once in a while he'll just pop up and be like, LOL.
No way.
Let me see if he still follows me.
Let's see if he follows you. Cool guy over here. This is actually a good question for anybody that's like watching or listening to this. Like, have you ever had any like direct interactions with celebrities? I know that like 15 years ago or something, Ellie Goulding responded to me. Yeah, he's still following you.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I got an Ellie Goulding smile back or something because I said I had a huge crush on her. And then,
she's beautiful.
And then she wrote back like and smiley faced me, and I was like, wow. Now it's happening. And I was like, Ellie Goulding. She's flying to Calgary, which is where I lived at the time. She's flying to Calgary. We're gonna get married. That's it.
Now she's gonna be as hot as a Chinook. Get it? Like the winds.
Stop. So today I want to talk about something that I can't get away from on TikTok, and I think this is really, really cool. It's not that weird acoustic guy singing in a circle.
On his toes.
Yeah, on his toes. Why is he singing on his toes? What's with what? Okay. All right. You know what? Let's talk about that first.
Yes.
First off, I don't even know what that guy's name is, but everybody thought that was a parody song, like a Kyle Gordon parody.
Or like a church camp.
Yeah. What is going on in that video?
I have no...
Like, so they're in a circle. People are holding up like iPhone lights.
So many lights.
And then he's ripping on people that get married and move to the suburbs.
It's a song. And so do you know what we're talking about, Steph?
I don't know what you're talking
You
about.
never heard this?
Oh my God.
I don't think so.
Hang on.
All right.
I'm getting it.
Get it. Because this is like, we are going to go to another thing.
I've never seen this.
Oh.
So he just this is just a song by a guy. Brendan Abernathy. I don't know what his name is. Anyways, he has 5,000 followers. And like, I don't think he meant to go viral, but he's given everybody on TikTok the ick. And he has a song, Married in a Year. He had just a performance went on and people are roasting him.
And they're like, literally, people are like making fun of the fact that because it's very like Lumineers 2011.
Yeah, somebody was
right?
like, this would hit hard in 2010.
Yeah, right. And it's also Steph, like he's so into the performance. I think that people are taking it and they're goofing on it and they're parodying it. And like, even when he's like, convincing yourself, he sings like that, right? And then he's like, convincing yourself you're living the American dream, and he like salutes the crowd. And
it's
like,
just really over the top. And
it's
God
just
bless.
it's like too much.
He seems very sweet and very talented
I don't
and
think
excited.
He's a bad guy.
But people are going in, and he kind of looks like he's levitating. Like some people are like making full videos that he's like taking off into space.
He just takes off and flies away. Yeah.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I haven't seen it. And he's full serious. It's not a parody.
No, he's serious.
No.
And he seems sweet. So I hope that he's well. Because he's getting a lot of attention.
Most of the stuff I see on TikTok about artists is like making fun of them, like Katy Perry. I actually, somebody said, I've listened to 1,000 albums in the last, 1,000 days. Like every day this woman listens to a new album.
Yeah.
And she runs down her top 10 worst, and Katy Perry's album from last summer was in the top 10. She's like, this song or this album was made purely to make as much money as possible and give you nothing, which is crazy. And I was like, oh my God, that's vicious. And then have you guys seen the fact that they're making fun of Katy Perry's song "Thinking of You"?
Yes.
So "Thinking of You," I think is her best song.
It's such a good song. I love that song.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
I like Dark Horse.
Dark Horse is a good one too. But "Thinking of You" is like beginning of her career when she's still doing like Warped Tour.
What's "Thinking of You"?
It was the third single. It was after "I Kissed a Girl."
The third single. That's the most radio thing I've ever heard.
It was "Hot and Cold."
It's like acoustic.
And "I Kissed a Girl," and then that. It's the acoustic song, and she oversins it.
I've seen the TikTok.
Has a lot of in it, and so now it's a good song.
I remember that song. Yeah, it was good.
Song.
Yeah,
and she wrote it.
Yeah,
she actually wrote that, and she actually was on stage at her concert singing "Thinking of You" in the way that people make fun of her at TikTok.
Yeah.
And then she said, "I don't sing like that." Like she stopped it dead, and everybody's like, "Yes, you do."
You should
yes, you did.
Katie should have leaned into it. Yeah.
She can't. I don't think she's in a place where she can handle it. She's
like
taken a lot of crap lately, and I feel like she's like done with everybody. I don't think that Did you see the like lightsaber show she puts on when she does E.T.?
Yeah.
Did you? She's like fighting and then singing E.T. and like, it's just,
I don't feel bad for her.
I don't either. She'll be fine.
She'll be okay.
The concert tour is still selling out.
Yeah.
But like, and she'll have like a redemption arc. They all do.
And she has access to a lot of therapy, you know?
She'll be fine.
Yeah, she'll be okay.
But it is one of those things where I feel like you're right. She should just lean into it.
Yeah.
And then just
take the piss out of yourself, as I say.
Yes, make fun of it, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that was back when, Katy came in and she was like, her biggest, inspiration was Alanis Morissette, who sang like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, that makes sense, right? Like when you kind of think of it, like when you're overdoing the vowels in the song. And that was also a very indie sound, right? In like 2005 to 2010, right? There was a little bit of,
There's only one Alanis though, and one Alanis only.
That's right.
But I didn't realize that was her biggest inspiration. That makes a lot of sense, the way that like she sings and.
Yes. Well, she wanted to be like singer-songwriter, acoustic guitar, and they turned her into a pop star.
Kissed a girl.
Well, that's the thing. She wrote those songs, right?
Like
and I don't think she didn't write Roar. I know she might be credited with Roar, but she didn't write it. She'll have like if you change a word, you get a credit on the song, right? So like she didn't write Roar, she didn't write Dark Horse, she didn't write those songs. The first album is like really her.
I know that we, at least the gay community, we don't like Kissed a Girl anymore, and it's appropriative and queer baiting, etc. But my God, I used to kiss girls when that song was like out and about, like going out dancing and stuff like that. Yeah. That was like a gay anthem then. So thank you, Katy.
Well, it'll come back to being a gay anthem too. Like, when something's like 10 or 15 years old, it's not cool. When it's 25 years old, then it's cool again.
It'll come back. It was a fun bop at the time. Maybe I'll get canceled for saying that.
The only other thing, no, you're not. The only other thing I get, the only other artist thing besides what we're about to talk about, which we still haven't talked about yet, is Benson Boone. And
I've had enough of Benson Boone.
This mystical,
I've had enough.
This mystical ice cream song that he's got going on.
I'm sorry, what?
Have you not heard his next song? So it's after Beautiful Things. There's a new song.
No more.
And so people are now playing that song, and they're doing at Target this weekend. You can get 25% off. Like it's like they're turning it into like an Old Navy commercial or because it sounds like that. And I think people were like. I went down the rabbit hole of like, why? Like, I don't like his music, but I also understand that it's not meant for me. Mm-hmm. So that's my first attachment thing. But then to hear people that it's actually meant for go, no, this actually sucks. And please stop playing this. And oh my God, we're going to hear this on radio stations for the next 18 months. And no one actually listens to shit like this. Mm. I'm curious about that. And it's funny because I don't think anyone has a full answer on why they don't like his music. But they're just like, yeah, we don't like it. And then I found out, are you ready for this? Yeah. The person that got him signed was a member of Imagine Dragons.
What?
And I'm like, this guy is the next Imagine Dragons. That makes sense to me.
That makes sense.
Do you know his backstory though?
Benson Boone, he's a former Mormon. I know that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Imagine Dragons guys are too, right?
But he was on American Idol.
He was?
So he auditioned, and apparently he had like never really sang before. Auditions for American Idol, like kills it, gets through, gets pretty far, and then quit American Idol and was like, actually, I don't want to be on this show. I want to do it on my own.
Good for him.
And then he blew up, which is crazy.
Good for him. I mean, I'm always down to respect people that hustle, especially because American Idol doesn't make anyone's career anymore. Like who's the last legit star that walked off American Idol?
Kelly Clarkson.
Carrie Underwood, I think.
Oh yeah, I guess so. She was after.
Yeah.
Benson Boone he's not for me. And I pressed not interested on him around Coachella because he was just backflipping all over my For You page. And I had enough. And in these tiny little suits. And I just, there's something about him that rubs me the wrong way. There's something.
Right.
And I love like very gender fluid, like androgynous, like Bowie, Freddie Mercury style, like and he's trying to be that style, but I don't think it's genuine influence. Like, I don't think he's influenced by these artists. I think he's just copying off of them.
Interesting.
I think he is. I think he is influenced by him. I went to go see him last year and I had heard like one song. I didn't really know him. I went for work. And like after that concert, I was like, I'm a Benson Boone fan.
Wow.
It was so good.
So we found one.
Okay, so
yeah, I honestly,
we found the Benson Boone fan.
I hate the slander he's getting because he's actually really talented.
Oh, I don't think it's not that he's not talented. I think it's that for me, and again, this is just me. And and again, when you get into that side of TikTok, it becomes an echo tunnel, right? Or echo chamber. There's nobody that's going to like disagree with your opinion.
Yeah.
I find that I'm like, that's going to be played at malls for the next 5 years.
Yeah. It will. Yeah.
And that's like, he makes to me mall music. And it's not because that's a really profitable thing to do, by the way. Like so did Bon Jovi. right? After his like young hard rock days,
Don't talk
that's
about
what Bon Jovi did. Like
John Bon
that's
Jovi
what,
that way. No, he is perfect.
You know, How You Remind Me from Nickelback is mall music, right? Like it's a very, and they've had their redemption arc, right? Like it's a very profitable thing to do what he's doing. I just find, I'm like, there's nothing in this that emotionally moves me. No matter how talented he is, there's nothing that's hitting me where I go, oh, I can see that X.
Here is what he needs to do if he wants to. He needs to, again, make fun of himself a little bit. Like there needs to be some self-deprecation.
He is doing that. Yeah. He's been replying to some of those TikToks.
Oh, good.
With like
Stephanie,
humor.
Are you a representative
She's
of
a-
Benson
she is-
Boone?
she's
over
a-
here?
she's
I'm a
paid
fan.
rep.
And like, here's the thing. His whole album, like he has like 3 of those mall songs and
Yeah.
the rest is not that.
Oh yeah.
But the
Adam-
mall songs are the singles, and that's
For
all
sure.
everyone knows,
yeah.
right?
And
But
everyone's just going to overhear it on radio.
What are what's
but
the other songs like?
he has a lot of like ballads and like sad songs on his album. Like, I don't know. I really enjoy his music.
I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm just bored. Yeah. And I hope that he does well and that his fans are able to connect with him. I need like mall music, sure, like radio music, sure. But what happened to the radio and mall music when it was like Akon was on everything? Remember that era where it was like David Guetta was on every track? That was the mall music for a while. And I want to go back to that.
Yeah, I think part of it is like Stephanie makes a point there, like the record company is only going to allow you to release the stuff they're sure is going to sell.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like Maroon 5. You know they're capable of more, but they've just given up. And they're just like, you know, who's the young hip hop artist? Okay, we'll put them on our song because that's their formula, right? Like they get some young black
really
artist
troubling.
and they put it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's troubling so much because it benefits both sides. It benefits Maroon 5. It benefits the artist. It brings them to the mainstream. I don't see it that way. I think that's a really cynical way to look at it. I think if they were bringing, I'm going to debate you on this because I think if they were bringing on up and coming black artists, absolutely. However, they are paying. Cardi B? What was Cardi B when she was on Girls Like You?
Cardi B already had
she
full
had
album
Bodak
out.
Yellow, but she wasn't like mainstream huge.
She had WAP out already. I'm pretty sure.
No, she did not. She did not.
We'll double check that. But
guaranteed.
Honestly, I mean, these artists are taking the money, but like throwing, Kendrick on there is just like, hey, how can we stay relevant? And I'm sure the profit share was there, but I want to make sure that A, the artists are getting paid properly, and B, why aren't you bringing up and coming artists?
They're making huge money.
Yeah,
they make huge money off of a Maroon 5 feature.
It just
because you got to look at it like, remember DaBaby before he torched his own career?
Yeah.
So DaBaby was
really good.
He was really good,
really
and he
good.
was on Levitating from Dua Lipa, right?
Yeah.
And so Snoop Dogg was on every feature for a long time because Snoop Dogg apparently has like a flat fee.
Yeah.
And here's your flat fee.
He's
you have
an
to pay,
empire.
let's say it's $50,000 for a line or something like that. And I'm not kidding. That's what it would be. He gives you like a couple lines and
for sure.
It's like $100,000. And then he might have like a profit share in the song a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But Snoop Dogg figured out that if you do enough of those, it's like putting out an album.
Yes.
And you get paid the same.
Yeah.
And so a lot of these artists, Kendrick Lamar on a Taylor Swift song, like, SZA on a Maroon 5 song, like they're all smart enough to know not only is this going to cross me over into mainstream, like white radio, right? But also it's going to help me sell my other album and I'm going to make a fortune because I'm going to be in on that Maroon $5, right? Because they've got their built-in fans. Now, I will say that I think Maroon 5, it's been years and years since they put out a song.
And
that
that's the thing. They just kept on doing that.
They found the formula.
Yeah. And also these radio tracks, I will say that, and you know this, some radio stations will play one version and some radio stations will play another, which is another thing, which 100%. Is like, and that's where I have a little bit of trouble with some of the artists making money. That's a tale for another time, but hopefully everyone's being paid.
I have to say, if I hear Bad Blood and it's just Taylor's version, it's terrible. Did you have to do that? Like, no. Give me, I want Kendrick.
Well, and you know what? I will say in a non-cynical way.
Steph hates this, by the way.
Tread lightly. Yeah.
Thank God they made these songs more palatable.
I'm glad Steph's here to keep me in line.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
So I think that's what it is, right? It's a way of bringing artists to a radio station that they wouldn't have been on. But DaBaby was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to take all this success and be super homophobic about it. And then everybody's like, yeah, okay, cool, man. And
he doubled down on it too. And
of course.
Yeah. And I will say about DaBaby, because
he was very good. And he still is probably very good. He was
very, very good. He actually was on a podcast, Trevor Noah's podcast. And Trevor Noah is a brilliant interviewer in general and just like a conversationalist. And DaBaby kind of gave, a bit of like not excuses, but a bit of context around like the culture in which he grew up. And I'm a gay woman. I don't accept it. I don't forgive it. But I understand it a bit more. And I think it's like I maybe have a bit more empathy for him in a way that I didn't before. Here's
the thing. You probably grow up, if you're feeling that way, like he might have grown up in like an insular culture, hyper masculine,
absolutely,
maybe very religious. You never know. I don't think any of that's an excuse, but here's the thing. That's where a guy like DaBaby, you need to have good people around you. You need to have good people around you because they need to be the ones to tell you, hey man, like you might hold these views in private, but if you go on stage and you say this, your fee for, maybe you make $100,000 to go to show up at a festival. Well, that fee is going to go down to $10,000 if you just show them the money part. And that's like that guy, DaBaby he was closing in on those, like Drake and Rihanna to show up at a festival or Kendrick or any of these guys. It's like $2 million for a 90-minute set.
DaBaby was also just a really great rapper, or is a really great rapper. I mean, he's not dead.
DaBaby was going to get into that.
Yeah.
And like, that's the thing is it doesn't just cost you now, it costs you forever.
And then he doubled down on it because he had kind of like,
he could have apologized.
Yeah. And he kind of doubled down and he's
like
now,
Miley Cyrus said she was going to reach out and wanted to have a chat with him about it and stuff like that.
What's Miley up to?
I don't know, man. Miley was like, let me help.
Healing the community. Miley Cyrus.
I remember that.
You know what?
I respect it.
I was going to say, I will say, if I want anybody to do the legwork of repair in the music community, it's fucking Miley Cyrus.
Man.
Excuse my language, but I love her.
I do too.
I love her so much.
I have a ton of respect for Miley Cyrus. I know that.
Is she even queer? I don't care.
I think she is. She has been at parts
Miley's
of her life.
For everyone.
Yes. Yeah. I just feel like I interviewed her once during the Bangers thing, and she was so smart.
Yeah, she's brilliant.
She was one of the smartest. She and I think Pink are probably two of the smartest people I've ever.
Adam loves Pink.
I love Pink.
Adam
I love
loves
her.
Pink. She is brilliant.
And again, there's somebody who, like Benson Boone, I'm not a crazy fan of like Pink music. I'm not going to be like, I'm going to get in the car and put on let's get the party started or whatever. Like I'm not. I am not. But
I forgot about that song.
But she is legitimately like you sit down in a room with her, and Pink is an artist that you feel like I could sit for 4 hours with you and just drink beers and talk about whatever the hell's on your mind.
Yeah.
And I think that is I was quite taken by how smart she is. And Miley, the same thing. Like when I talked to her, it was pretty clear that she knew what she was doing. Like this was during the whole twerking thing and the Robin Thicke and whatever. And like, I also didn't see what the big to do was with her twerking on Robin Thicke. Like that was some sort of big deal, but
cancel her.
Yeah, right. That was like a thing at the time.
Hard on her.
It was like a super conservative talking about like this is the culture's out of control. I remember when things didn't, people played with guitars and they didn't twerk on each other. It's like, but they were doing lines of coke backstage and smoking weed and whatever on stage or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
She's not doing any of that.
No.
Anyway, I thought that she was one of the most well thought out, intelligent people I've ever spoken to. And you know what's interesting about Miley is she's one of the few artists that can come back whenever the hell she wants.
Oh, she has like a free pass to get in also any genre.
Yes.
You know what I mean? She can, because she has a vocal range that you can say whatever you want about Miley, but you can't say she's a bad singer.
No.
You can't. She's also Dolly Parton's goddaughter. You know what I mean? Like she has the backing. I will also say that her and Pink, they are also a little silly, a little self-deprecating. So maybe back to Benson Boone, if he was a little sillier.
Perry.
Or Katy Perry. Like
apparently he is, and we've just missed it, Jax.
We just missed it. Adam, we need to get on the Benson bus now.
I also have to say, when he brought out Brian May for that festival, and then he got mad at the fans for not knowing who he is, I'm like, listen, I love Brian May. I've seen Brian May in concert. I'm a Queen fan. But I don't expect people in their 20s to know who Brian May is.
High on MDMA.
If they know who Freddie Mercury is, that's enough.
Yeah.
Right? Like that, because Brian May hasn't been relevant as a pop rock icon since at least the early 90s. And that's okay. That's what happens. It's like, remember when Paul McCartney came out with Rihanna and Kanye and did 4 or 5 seconds and people were like, who's this Paul McCartney guy? Right?
That was such a bizarre, 2016. I forgot about
Weird
that time.
Weird
And we had to play it. It was so slow.
I didn't like that song.
Neither did I.
I know some people were like, "That's the greatest song." I'm
We've
like,
never
"That song-
talked about this. I didn't like it.
I didn't like that song either.
It was a bummer.
It's not just a bummer. It's just not good too. Like it's like I'm like, where does this song
Go.
Where does this go?
It was, we never talked, and we had to be like, whoa, here it is again.
Yeah, here it is every 75 minutes on Kiss 92.5. Hey, so the one artist I do want to talk about as this music segment has evolved and devolved is the All-American Rejects.
Okay, what's going on here?
So they're doing a bunch of festivals this summer and some stadium gigs with opening for the Jonas Brothers in August. So I know somebody that's got Jonas Brothers tickets.
I'll be there.
By the way, Jonas Brothers are very good live. We had a blast.
They are so much fun
They're
live.
spectacular.
Yeah.
Like,
They're the
really.
best. And they've also reposted me back to that
Have they?
comment. Yes.
A bit of a star over here. So here we go. So we got they basically
Doing
at
like
the
a
end of
backyard
April
tour, right?
they crashed a teenage cover band's backyard show in Southern California. And since they've done that, they've urged fans to say, "Where's your house party? We'll come and crash it." And their most recent performance, they played on a front lawn of Columbia College frat house, which I think a lot of people have seen. And the footage is obviously going viral. So they had the backyard party. Now they've had this front of yard party. And they've also done a couple of like where they've been on, people's like frat house porches and stuff like that, which is really cool. And I guess the cops are showing up.
And dancing.
But they're letting them finish because it's like, because the All-American Rejects are like our age.
Okay.
They had their moment and then they went away and then started doing the nostalgia tour thing with like, the 20, where it was like them and like Paramore was on it.
Yeah.
And who else was on it? It was like the guy 303. You remember those guys?
Don't trust.
Don't trust a hoe.
Yeah. I was going to say, because have they put out new music? Or are we just still bopping to the old?
Still releasing new music. A track, Easy Come, Easy Go, due June 5th.
Just around the corner.
Just around the corner.
Just around the riverbed.
Next week.
I would mosh out on a lawn to that.
Oh, I think it'd be fun.
I'd have a little lawn party to that.
Well, what's amazing is because of TikTok.
Yeah.
Their music has really had a resurgence, right? Especially Gives You Hell.
Yeah.
Which is a great song. And
I'm trying to sing Gives You Hell. Okay.
That one's the one.
Yeah.
And so they end every show with that. And people are like losing their minds. And so it's cool because they're generating themselves like a new audience and they're playing these shows that, everybody just goes to for free and they bring their,
that's kind of nice.
It's literally like a high school band. Like you bring your drums, you bring your amps and you set up and you hope that the neighbors don't call the cops. And that's literally what's going on.
If either of us had a lawn, if we had a lawn,
not a thing in Toronto.
Who could you bring? Who would you get to play it out of anybody?
Oh man. He's dead now, but I would have loved Van Halen.
I was going to say it's going to be an old rocker for sure.
But that's how they started.
Yeah,
they started playing backyard parties
in the
Southern
40s,
in the 40s, in the 70s, and like that's how they became popular. Is like
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they would go and they would play like a whole bunch of covers, and then they'd like put their own songs in there at the end of high school, and then they started playing like club gigs on the Sunset Strip, and then they got signed. So that's the backyard parties. They always say that backyard parties were what made them because anything can happen. They would talk about how, they got so big at the backyard party circuit in the 70s that there would be like 3,000 kids in someone's backyard.
No way.
And there would be fights and people would throw beer bottles and stuff at them. So it made them like better on stage. Whereas, a guy like, Benson Boone has no idea what it's like to have a beer bottle chucked at. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Do you know how hard it is to do 6 flips on the stage in a row? I just want to know,
with white shoes and a blue jumpsuit?
I want to know, what are you running from? Like, why is he flipping so fast? Like, Pink's at least in the air, but he's flipping too hard. But also,
who's your band? Who's the band that you'd want to? If you say Tegan and Sarah, I'm going to friggin' cry.
I would love to, but Tegan and Sarah can play on my roof anytime. No, Jan Arden, no.
Jan would be fun. Jan's hilarious.
Jan would throw a party. Jan Arden, you are invited to play Adam and I's lawn.
That we don't have.
We don't have it. I think, does it have to be a band or can it be?
Be anything you want.
Rihanna.
You want to have Rihanna?
Yeah.
What would you have her set up with? Like a karaoke box? Like
no, I would.
Would you bring the Rihanna band? Because she has a band.
She has a band, but no, I would have speakers, and then I would play instrumentals of her songs on my DJ machine, and then she would perform.
So you would be Rihanna's DJ.
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't put myself in the band.
Well,
you're putting yourself in the band.
Well, can I bring her DJ?
Well, sure.
Okay, we'll bring her DJ because I want to enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, could you imagine Rihanna playing on my deck?
That'd be amazing.
That would be incredible. Would you come?
Oh, yeah. I would be there. I would be there.
You're going to bring a dead band and I'm going to bring Rihanna.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. I think your show's going to go better than mine.
I think
at least in this day and age.
I think it's going to get out of control.
So I think it's really cool that All American Rejects are doing this.
They're smart. That's smart.
They are very smart. Yeah, it's a really neat idea. I want to ask you this, guys, just to switch gears for a sec. Do you ever see the TikToks or YouTubes or whatever that somebody has quit their job and they're like living in a van? Van life. Yeah. Or they're like sailing, or they're, they have a hobby farm or something. It seems super peaceful.
Doing the Pacific Coast trail line or whatever. That takes people just quitting their jobs and walking.
There is an urge, right?
Hell yeah. There's
to step out of what you're doing and going, you know what? I'm just going to leave the world behind and now can't do it with kids. I'll just tell you that. So there's no leaving them behind. The actual, you have to be at a really interesting place, I think, in your life to actually take that step.
Yeah, that's scary.
Because it's not only is it scary, but it's what if, how do you make money? Right. And I have one of my buddies from high school his name's Mark Harrison. That is all he does. He'll literally say, he'll put on YouTube or Instagram or something like that and go, where am I going next? And people will be like, go to Kabul in Afghanistan.
How does he have the money?
And he'll go and he'll video himself in the market in Kabul.
Wait a second. Is he does he have
He's got a pretty good following. Yeah.
I feel like I've seen him.
You probably have. Yeah. He also he was also one of the best athletes at our school.
No way.
And one of the first videos he did that went viral, he's on the side of a mountain, and they give you those 2 planks of wood to walk along.
Yeah.
And he's holding up a GoPro camera, and he's he almost slips and he goes, whoa. And he's free climbing, and it's thousands of feet low. Yeah. He's a pretty cool guy. And I haven't seen him in years, but knowing Mark, this is the perfect career for him. I don't know how he makes money still, but there must be.
He's monetizing views, I'm sure, or something
monetizing views. So, but I've never asked him. I probably should just DM him and ask him, hey man, why did you decide to do this?
Yeah.
And one of the ones that I've been following along, have you guys seen Sailing with Phoenix? Have you ever seen these guys?
The guy and his cat.
The guy and his cat.
The sweetheart and his cat.
Sailing to Honolulu.
Yeah, and they're on their way and they're so excited.
So he's from Oregon, and he's got a cat named Phoenix, and they actually made it this past weekend to Honolulu.
He did make it. Good.
And it's the guy and his cat. So it's this guy and his cat, and they're on this sailing boat. And what I always ask again is what is the thing that gets you to the point where you go, I'm going to do this, right? And so what I thought was interesting was, so he quit his 11-year career at a tire company, liquidated his 401k, which is his retirement, sold all his belongings and bought a sailboat, and he never sailed before. And so what was interesting was
scary.
He said, I was tired of running the corporate America rat race because he had a chronic neck injury. And he said, I run the risk of being paralyzed. He said, I've got Capeffel. They never make these easy to
I know. I want to hear you figure it out.
Klippel syndrome.
Ooh.
I'm sorry if I got that wrong.
I bet you did.
He said, I found out 3 years ago. I got diagnosed. So all my cervical vertebrae are fused.
Oh, shoot.
And they're all missing discs. And he said, the doctor described it as, I have the spine of somebody who's 115. And he said, so he bought a sailboat from the 1990s. He lived on it for a year to figure out how to use it. He didn't know how to maintain it. He didn't know how to sail it. He didn't know how to do anything. And he has amassed 1.7 million Instagram followers.
He'll make money off just that. Yeah.
1.2 million TikTok followers and 35,000 followers on YouTube. Now, YouTube's hard to get followers on. It's really difficult. But I was like, that, to me, that makes sense. If you've got, first off, you got a spine like that. Sailing's not easy.
It's not easy. Also, back injuries. I mean, they are brutal. My mom had a spinal fusion when I think she was like 41, and I remember my mom was an emergency nurse for years, so like her back was thrown from lifting. There's so much lifting, and we went to the Dominican to an all inclusive, like the year before, because she had to wait for a while to get her spinal fusion, and before that, and she was like, I don't know if my back will ever I may not be able to do anything after this. It's either going to get a lot better, stay the same, or it's going to get mostly worse. And a lot of people, it gets worse. So she was like, I want to go parasailing. I want to go on the banana boat. And Jesus, did she ever? She was on the banana boat so hard, like her back, but she was like, I want to be able to.
I want to do this.
I want to be able to do this because I don't know if I can again. And like back stuff is so hard.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's so hard. And it's really, really debilitating, also isolating. So like good for this guy. He also seems like a sweetheart in all the interviews.
Yeah,
he
seems
so
like
nice.
just a really nice guy.
He's so nice. Yeah.
So I was like, I wanted to bring that story up because I was like, nobody ever really talks about what's the reason other than like, oh, like I'm a bit of a free spirit and I I just don't need that life. And I'm like, no, there's like a reason though. Give me the real reason. Give me that guy because I'm nosy.
What are you looking for? Or what are you running from? As usually.
And by the way, we're all looking for and running from something.
That's what, absolutely.
So I'm down. I just want to hear it.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was kind of cool and like what an inspirational way to do it. Now, here's my question for you.
Oh.
As somebody who grew up on the coast, how much sailing did you do?
I've never sailed.
Have you never sailed?
No, I've never sailed.
Never been on a boat with a sail?
No, I've never sailed.
Never been on a catamaran?
No, I don't think I've ever been on a boat with a sail. I used to do.
How do you grow up in Halifax, Nova Scotia, one of the biggest natural harbors in the world?
I grew up in Dartmouth.
Dartmouth is on the harbor.
But there's a very big difference between Dartmouth and Halifax. Like Halifax, you have the Arm, and I didn't grow up yachting on the Arm. But I grew up, Adam, I was a part of Micmac Paddling Club. And I was, Adam, why are you laughing so hard?
I love it. It's so perfect.
I was at Micmac Paddling Club and I was part of the War Canoe crew.
Oh, War Canoe is hard.
It was very, very hard. And also I did K4 and K1.
Not easy either.
Not easy. And because you have to get your balance, they call it.
Yeah, War Canoe is like where you have a knee up and a knee down and the oar is above like your head, right?
And you're just sailing through Lake Charles. But I did K1, but because I didn't have my balance, because I couldn't sit in my seat, so I had to sit. I couldn't use a seat because I couldn't balance it, so I had to sit on the bottom. So I always tipped it, and then I wouldn't make it very far in the races because I was always tipping. And my parents didn't put me in the second year because it was a waste of money.
Wow.
So no, I haven't sailed.
Why was it a waste of money? Just because
I wasn't good at it. No, I think that they mostly. It was very.
Man, if my parents had done that with hockey, I would have been out after year one.
It's very expensive to paddle, and I think
it is.
I think that it was good for me to have a place to go, but they also
good for you to have a place to go. I like that.
But then I started getting into weed.
Oh,
yeah, and they were like, "You need
weed and snacks, man.
Weed and snacks."
Dangerous.
Yeah. So, but no, I haven't sailed. I am going on a boat this weekend, though. This upcoming weekend, it's my friend's birthday.
Okay.
So we're all going on a boat down by Cabana.
That's, by the way, if it's a sunny day, have you ever done boating in Toronto?
No, you can rent private yachts.
I'm telling you, I've done it. And
what's it like?
It's the view from the lake is the best view you will ever see. And no one ever, it's crazy. If you live near a big body of water, you probably relate to this. You know, people go, they're like, hey, I live near a beach and I never go. Like people in Florida, like I never go to the ocean. People from Florida don't go to the ocean or whatever.
Yeah.
I am telling you, you're going to be like, this is the craziest experience I've ever had. You've never seen our city from that. We have a beautiful waterfront and they'll sail you in and out through the islands right off the coast of Toronto. And it is a coast. It's a lake coast, but it's a coast. And it's like you get to see the city. It's so big looking back at you. And it's almost like somebody took a city and just cut it in half and moved it like on a cutting board because the big buildings come right to the lake.
But wait a second.
So you see a cross section of a city. It's neat.
I've seen the view from the Tiki Taxi, but it's better than that?
I think it's better than that. Okay. Yeah. Tiki Taxi's good. Nothing wrong with Tiki Taxi.
Tiki Taxi's going too fast. And I'm like, slow down. I want to check it out.
You're worried about not falling off a Tiki Taxi. Yeah.
I've never been. Yeah, I guess I've never been in little
you need
inlets
to
and stuff.
sail through it and just and hear hear the water going, bobbing up against the boat and like, like you gotta, it's peaceful. It's beautiful.
You know what?
Absolutely beautiful.
You know what? You'd make a good boat captain.
You think so?
I think you'd make a great boat captain.
I grew up doing a lot of power boating. My dad was like a big water skier. But I never did a lot of sailing. I don't know anything about sailing.
I bet you'd be good at sailing. I
couldn't sail with Phoenix.
I bet you'd be good at sailing.
You think so?
You have a trusty demeanor. And I feel like I would feel safe from drowning with you.
I would want to be one of those captains on Below Deck.
Adam,
they have to be making big money.
Adam, you would get into big trouble.
No,
on
I don't
Below
think
Deck.
I would. I think I'd be like, you know what? No, I'm going to let the drama happen and I'll just observe.
No, you kind of turn into a principal sometimes, which is hot. But like sometimes you'd be like, that's enough. And to the cast and crew, like they're loaded all the time. There's debauchery going. There's relations.
They're constantly hungover.
They're constantly hungover. And I don't think that you would like them as employees.
No.
But I think that you give them a lot of slack. I think that you would actually be a good leader for the Below Deck cast.
You think I could keep them in line?
I think that you could help them grow.
That's such a crazy show. I love that show so much.
I don't know how we got here, but I'm glad we did.
I did too.
Yeah,
I am glad. That's the great thing about a podcast is you can. Do you watch Below Deck stuff?
Oh.
I've never watched it.
What?
I know.
Okay. Below Deck's great. Below Deck Sailing Yacht. Below Deck Down
I never
Under.
watched a sailing
yacht's crazy.
Down Under, like Captain Sandy.
Yeah.
You are you have Captain Sandy vibes.
Love Captain Sandy.
Captain Sandy's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, you need to watch Below Deck.
You gotta watch.
It's incredible.
It's great. It's so great.
Where's it on?
Hey You, isn't it?
Hey You.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you watch
right.
any reality show like Beverly Hills and Real Housewives,
it's so good. I was like, I don't know about this, and then all of a sudden it was 4 seasons later, and I was like, I couldn't stop. It's just so.
And the
good.
cast changes all the time.
Yeah.
Some people some people you don't. Like it's like it doesn't matter who's on it. You're just like I'm invested in you now.
I would be a yachty for sure. Like I would get on there.
I think it would have been fun.
Yeah.
I wonder about that job though. Like how long can you do that before it as a yachty
takes your soul?
Well, yeah, because you see some people there. And they're like first mate, but they're like 40.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, so is this, that might just be your life and that's fine. But I feel like that's like, there's like a window you can do that in your 20s. And then it's like, okay, I either got to be working towards a captain.
Yeah.
If I want to stay here, or I got to be like getting back on dry land and figuring something else out.
Yeah. Cause you make a ton of money when you're on it, but it's also like that. The schedule, the drinking, the partying, like that.
They're working like 16 hours a day.
Yeah, that would wear on you. Also, maybe I'm just thinking of one, but the chefs have tempers on that show.
They're all crazy. Why are all the chefs crazy? They're all lunatics.
They make great food, but my God, are most of them mad? Yes. But also, if you are a incredible chef, and then you're working with people having sex in a cot next to your head.
Sometimes that's the chef too, though.
Yeah,
they always drink the most.
We're thinking about the same chef, I think.
Oh, there's several.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if people in who make food. It's such an extreme thing to do.
Yes.
For a living.
Yes.
That I feel like you're on the edge of just stress.
A lot of chefs, a lot of chefs are just a lot of rage in that kitchen. But I also there's a lot of substances in kitchens, right?
Is there? Okay.
Especially in the chef world.
You gotta stay awake.
Yeah, you got to stay awake. You got to be on it. You got to be perfect. And a lot of chefs are now sober. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, look at
really?
Matty Matheson. He's talking about in his book. Yeah, he's 11 years sober.
Good for him.
He's over 10 years sober, but he was he couldn't do it anymore. He was I was about to die. And I think that especially in a lot of big city restaurants, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of drugs. There's a lot of drama. So I think a lot of chefs that I've heard of are sober because they're like, if I want to continue being a chef to the standard that I want to, I can't operate like this.
Right. Because it can help you for a bit.
You're always drinking. Kitchen culture. Kitchen culture is there's a lot of drugs and alcohol. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So kudos to anybody getting sober.
Listen, man, there's a reason why you always see somebody in the back having a cigarette.
Oh God, yes.
It's a stressful job.
It's
a very stressful job.
This.
Yeah. Yeah. They never look happy or energized.
They're on a milk crate. They're on a milk crate smoking. And I'm like, I get it. I see you out there. You've had a rough day. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Let's do some questions, shall we? It's that time of the show.
It's that time of day. Question period.
Hey, Jax.
Nope.
From Katharina. Do you give second chances? How much sanity can we expect right from the start?
What?
Well, I don't know the second half of that question, but I'm talking about the first. Let's do the first half.
Can we
Do you
restart?
give second chances to
Can we
people?
restart this question segment? What does this mean?
Well, I think it's probably just like in life. Let's talk about. Like,
Do I give
it could be
second chances?
relationships.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Do you give third chances?
No. Fool me once, fool me twice. What's the saying about that?
Shame on me. Shame on
Yeah.
you. Fool me once. Shame on me. Fool me twice.
Yeah.
I think it depends on what it is.
Listen, I have been, maybe I have a little bit more slack for people because I've been given second chances for things that I've, tried to right and try to make amends for. But yeah, it depends on depends on the crime, I guess.
If somebody had an affair on you,
No.
that's a no for me too.
No.
That's like an instant no.
I
I tell all
think-
my partners that I'm like, listen, if you want to do that,
Yeah.
just break up with me. Like I mean, I've been married for 3 years now, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. But like,
I think that if you want to explore with other folks, like absolutely, just let me know. We can talk about that. But I think the lying part of the affair is what I would have a problem with, not the actual like going out and sleeping with somebody. Like,
Really?
yeah, I think just the betrayal. Yeah, I don't care. Not I don't care, but I just want things to be discussed. If you want to be open, we can discuss that. If I'm okay with that, we can do that. If I'm not, we can break up. Like, but just don't lie to me. Just come talk to me.
It's
yeah,
the lying.
it's the lying. Yeah, I don't like lying.
Yeah. Okay. What's the one thing you secretly love that people would totally judge you for? It's from Samantha.
Samantha, that I secretly love.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if it's a secret. Like I put a lot of mayonnaise.
I was gonna say like video games or something like that. I put a lot of mayonnaise.
No.
on my
Like
food.
I have like with partners, like.
Do you have a chat with them and be like, listen, I have a bit of a mayo addiction. You're just gonna have to deal with it.
Well, like I just
some
don't
people
think,
find it gross. I don't mind mayo at all.
Yeah, and I remember like I've had a couple partners where like we've like made lunch together, and then like if they are spreading. And then like, you need a little more. Like that's hot to me. If they're like not only okay with it, but like encouraging my mayo.
Oh, then it's like a bit of a turn on.
I'm like, what's up?
What's up?
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that. Oh, that's
No,
cool.
but
They got to embrace you for who you are.
Yeah,
right?
like if somebody saw how, like I don't bring out my Hellmann's on a second date. That's for sure. It's gross. Even like a close friend of mine was over not long ago and saw me dipping my French fries and said, that's disgusting.
Really?
Yeah. And they were like, I didn't.
Plenty of people do that.
I knew that about you, but I didn't know.
You know what I don't like? I don't like when people dip their French fries in a milkshake. I know some people love that.
Neither do I.
But I find it gross.
It is-
Stephanie is incensed right now. She's so mad at us.
I love it.
Yeah, see?
French
She's mad
fries?
at us.
What are you? No. Dip your French
We've
fries.
just been in Stephanie's kitchen all show.
Dipping. What are you, a baby? Why can't you? Yeah.
Don't look at me.
No,
look at
sorry.
her.
Yeah. What are you? Why French fries in milkshakes? Sweet and savory.
Yeah.
You're a baby.
No,
eat
it's
like
so
an adult.
good.
Eat like an adult. That's
French
candy.
fries in a McFlurry.
Yuck.
Yuck.
So
Yuck.
good.
No.
Yuck. You know what? This is why Europeans laugh at North Americans.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
I am European.
Oh yeah, true. You are.
Yeah, Steph's Italian.
Yeah, true. Okay. Well, you know what? What do your Italian family think of that?
Yeah, I don't tell them that part.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, for me, like there's a point I've reached in every relationship where I just look at my girlfriend and I go, listen,
Oh yeah.
there's something we need to talk about.
Is it the
and
gaming?
It's my nerdy video games that I really
why
like.
are your hands doing that? Are you nervous?
It's
Yeah,
like
you-
you sit down and
you
you
are a gamer.
listen, you're not going to find this sexually appealing at all.
Mhm.
In fact, if I play it that day, you're probably not going to want to even make out with me. But on the off chance that this is okay with you, I need this. This is a part of my life. Nerd lives here.
I would find that hot if you are passionate about it, like not about anything, but like I think gaming's hot.
Well, I think it's like, for me, it's the only thing I do. Occasionally working out does, but I find my mind races when I'm working out. Like even when I'm working out, I'm thinking about work. Because I think about work constantly. The only thing that pulls me out, because you have to focus on it, is video games. And so it's the only time I really get a break.
That's true. And it's like not.
And you come out of it and you go, oh, I feel good. Like clear. Does that make sense?
Really? No,
Yeah.
that's why I had to quit drinking. Because I was like, but no, a lot of people like drink or use drugs to like get out of it. But like gaming, I mean, I guess it can be destructive as well.
Didn't The Sims do that for you until you stopped playing it?
Yeah, I had to stop simming. You know that. I was simming around and I really like The Sims, but you made a good point. I remember you said this to me on air years ago and I can never forget it. You're like, I realized when I was playing The Sims that I was doing things on the game that I was supposed to be doing in real life.
Yeah, like I do need to clean my own toilet.
Yeah.
Like why am I cleaning the toilet in the video game when I need to do that now?
Why is my sim eating and I haven't eaten in 3 days? Why is my
I'm trying to build in this beautiful house. I should be building myself a house.
Why is my sim showering and I'm dirty? It's like everything goes to the sim and nothing is left for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, no, I don't sim, but you can video game. That's hot.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You know what? When I knew Natalie was the one for me, it was during the pandemic and she bought me a PS5 in our first Christmas together when you could not get them.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And she and then I got this video game called Horizon Zero Dawn. It's a great game. Female lead, actually. You'd like it.
You can't sell me a video game by having
it's like a female lead. It's like a chick, she's
she's it's crazy. It's like it's pretty progressive because there's a woman in it. Yeah, there's this chick in it. Like shush.
But she actually would sit on the couch and like watch me play. And then we'd go through the story together because the story really plays like a movie. And I've heard people do that with like The Last of Us, which was originally a video game and is now a TV show. Some of these games are so theatrical that you can just watch and enjoy.
Natalie is a secret hot nerd though. Like she's like beautiful. She's like, if you would see her, do you mind if I objectify your wife for
please,
me?
Go ahead.
But if you would see her, you're like, oh my God, she's stunning. And then she's secretly like really like funny and kind of nerdy. Like not nerdy, but like she's just, I don't know.
She's read all like the Lord of the Rings, the Game of Thrones, Wheel of Time. Like she's like done all.
And you would never expect it.
She had dated nerdy guys before me who got her into that.
I love her. She's so good.
For.
Yeah, she's so good. And she's funny.
Yeah, she's funny.
Oh.
Yeah. Listen.
Sorry about that. It sounds like I have a crush on your wife.
That's fine. I have a crush on her. Okay. What's your go-to excuse? This is the last one before we get to our recommendations. Go-to excuse when you bail on plans.
I don't really.
You don't bail on plans.
And it's something I need to work on is bailing on plans.
You need to bail more.
I need to bail more. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're always doing like 40 different things.
Yeah. Which I love. And I've like definitely boundaried over the past couple of years and like tried to streamline my time. But no, I don't really like to bail. If I do bail, like I do bail sometimes, but if I do, it's genuine.
I remember there was I was at a radio station and I was like 19 and there was somebody on the street team who was as old as I was and we were going to go out on a date, but she was the most like, I have to tell you, like this person was a little unbalanced and at least at the time. And at 19, we all are, right?
Yeah.
Brain's not fully developed till you're 25, like whatever. So I give her a full pass, but she like would text me and I'd be on the air or something. And if I didn't get back within 5 minutes, she'd lose her mind.
Oh no!
Like I get a bunch of angry texts,
Yuck.
Be like, "Oh, well, and I was like, "What the hell's happening here?"
I hate
like
text.
Intense abandonment, like intense. And so I was, I hadn't even gone on a first date with her, and we were just gonna go for like ice cream because I had no money. I'm like, "Here, it's $2. We'll go to Dairy Queen, probably a Micmac Mall or something like that."
Girl, you want to get a dilly bar? Yeah, girl, I'm gonna take you for a dilly bar.
That's all I had. I had no money. I made
Let's
nothing.
get silly,
I had
have
no
a dilly.
money.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was like, I remember saying to my roommate Zach, who's still one of my best friends, and his now wife Emily, they've been together since high school.
Oh, she's a sweetie. Yeah, they both are.
And we were living in the same condo together. We had this big, beautiful condo when Halifax rent prices were cheap.
Park, right?
Clayton Park.
Clayton Park.
And I said to them, like, I got to get out of this. And they're like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, I don't know. But with this person, for whatever reason, I felt like, I'm like, I've got to come up with something extreme. Because if it's something like I'm tired or something like that, she's going to lose her mind.
Did you say someone was dead?
So I said one of my family members was in the hospital. And people, every time I tell people that, they're like, what the hell's wrong with you? I'm like, what do you mean what's wrong with me? Well, and she was, I was worried for my safety.
I said somebody passed away to get out of work one time.
You did?
Like years ago. Yeah. Like one of my first jobs. And I guess that's even worse than a relationship.
That's so much worse.
Well, I said, there's been an unexpected passing in my family. Because they didn't want to go, Adam,
That is
Adam?
amazing. And you pulled it off like that. Did they? So here's the thing.
Did they follow up? Yes, they did.
Because they were like, "How are you?"
And I was like,
when you got back to work and you went to act.
I was like, Licenza girl, I'm okay. Yeah.
Was it Licenza that you?
Yeah, I think it was Licenza girl. And
No way.
I worked out because I worked
You
there
were working
season.
at Licenza girl.
Shut up! It was seasonal. I needed another job, and I knew a girl
Amazing.
that worked there. Because Adam, at the time I was working 2 jobs. I was working at Sobeys and Licenza girl, and
Of course,
I never
you were
lied to
hustling.
Sobeys,
You were hustling.
but I would lie to the seasonal, and that's before I worked at Zellers.
Before this is pre-sellers.
Yeah, the Zellers life.
I love, by the way, that you just bounced around. You had so many jobs.
Adam, I'm complex, and I have a past. Okay, I have a past.
This is great.
I
All
have a
right.
past.
All right. So recommendations before we go, Jack.
Okay, I'm going to say 2 things really quick. You changed my life last week. John Hamm's new show on Apple.
Do you like it?
Oh my God, it's fantastic.
Okay, cool.
Fantastic. That, and also I'm blanking on the name of the show, but it's Benny Drama. His new show on Amazon Prime.
Yes. Is it good?
It is so.
'Cause I
I'm
think
only a couple
he's-
seasons.
I think
You've
he's
always loved him.
generationally funny. Like the first video for me that really knocked
Shawn
me out.
Mendes.
Him doing Shawn Mendes is incredible. Him doing Billie Eilish.
Yes. Yeah.
Billie Eilish at the beach.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy should be on SNL. He's incredible.
Brilliant. Like he's brilliant. And to see him in a different kind of format, I guess.
Okay.
Longer form. Like it's,
Sometimes that doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. It does for him. I've only seen a
Really?
couple episodes. It was also shot all in Ontario, I think.
A lot of it was in Toronto.
Oh, no way. Okay. Yeah.
It's called Overcompensating.
Overcompensating. Yeah,
Overcompensating.
it is. And it's so quick, funny. Like it has, I guess, the styling of, like a show, like it's just a television show,
Yep.
but in the back it's like skit and like SNL, like very just very dry humor. So it's like layered. I don't know how to explain it. You'll know
give
what
it
I'm
a
talking
shot.
about. Oh, it's funny. Yeah, it's really well done.
That's
Yeah,
great. I like
yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah, you got to watch it. Like watch it this week.
I want to re-up a couple of things that
I've
I've
got to
said.
talk about my audiobook.
No.
Oh.
Well, my audiobook is a Star Wars audiobook right now, so I'm not even going to bring that up.
I'm not interested.
Okay. Have you watched The Studio yet?
I haven't finished it.
Okay, because Zoe Kravitz is in the recent 2 episodes, and she is
Beautiful and perfect and amazing.
beautiful and perfect and amazing, and also hysterical.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, and it's because like they all. So I won't tell you the reason why. I'm not ruining anything, but they all end up high on mushrooms at a really inopportune time. Like
Excellent.
The entire
Excellent.
And she's the lead actress
My
of a
entire
movie
20s.
they're trying to promote.
Okay, let's go.
It's incredible. It's so funny. It's so amazing, that show. It's like a brilliant show. The other thing I'm doing, speaking of Star Wars, is we watched all of Andor.
Oh, yeah.
And then my wife decided, she's like, well, what happens after Andor? I'm like, it's Rogue One. So we watched Rogue One. And then she's like, well, what happens after this? I'm like, it's A New Hope. So we watched the original trilogy. So if anybody's feeling like they should, watch Andor and then watch Rogue One and then watch the full trilogy. And it's quite the experience.
If somebody held a knife to my throat, I would. If somebody had a knife
If
to
there
my
was a death
throat,
in my family, I still wouldn't
yeah,
watch.
absolutely not. But you know what? I'm glad that you are having fun, babe.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that you're having fun.
All right, guys. So listen, we're going to be back next week. And we'll see what else is out there in the TikTok drama world. Maybe we get another retweet or a repost from Ronnie Radke that,
Or maybe
send us to the moon.
Jan Arden and Rihanna play on our roof.
Ooh, there you go.
know. Jan Rana.
We'll call it Adam Wild and Jax Fest on Jax's roof.
Yeah.
It's very dangerous.
I don't think it.
It's a row house. There's no way that
I think it's well made up there.
it's well made,
We're
but I
gonna
mean, you
have to
could
find
slip.
out.
It's like they got the roof is like very concave.
It is, we'll figure it out
We'll
when we're
figure
up
it
there.
out. All right.
Make sure to like and subscribe and heart us and wink as well.
Because we heart you.
Ugh.